To make a buttonhole out of yarn using the buttonhole stitch, you need a finished piece of knit work, a length of yarn in the color that you want the buttonhole to be. I'm using a contrasting color today so you can tell what's what, and a tapestry needle. There are a lot of different ways to knit a buttonhole, but this is my favorite way to make a buttonhole because it is applied at the end. So after the item is knit and sized, you just attach the buttonhole wherever you want it to be. I think it's a really versatile way to make a buttonhole. So most often you're adding the buttonhole to a bound-off edge, and that's a great way to size the buttonhole. And if you're doing more than one buttonhole in a row, to make sure that they're all the same size. So I'm just gonna leave we'll leave 2 bound-off stitches in between. And you start by making a loop, and just use your finger to hold the loop out at the size you want the buttonhole to be. And I like to triple the yarn at the buttonhole. So we'll go a second time, and then I alternate going in from front to back and back to front to make the buttonhole as stable as possible. So here we go with the third time. And pull all the strands so that you've got equal tension on all 3 pieces. And then we start with the buttonhole stitch, and that's going from back to front through the loop you've just made. And as you're pulling it through, you're kind of making another single strand loop here, and then you go from front to back through that loop as you pull it tight. And then you're kind of making loose knots around the triple strand. So again, we go from back to front, and then as we make the loop with the single strand, we go from front to back through that loop. And you just keep repeating this back to front through the buttonhole, and then front to back through the loop. And it lines up the knots, and you keep going around until you have covered the triple strand of the button loop. And you can see there, you've got the lined up stitches and then sort of a ridge along the outside. And when this comes the whole way over to the other end, then you're finished. And you can bind off or thread your yarn a few stitches down if you want to make a second buttonhole. And that is how to make a yarn button loop using the button loop stitch.